speaking of canary in the coal mine, in the coal mine of the Federal Reserve, the canary, Jerome Powell, has some more news. And what is that?
Yes, so he is saying that there will be a couple of years until the Fed ends its balance sheets sell-off, right? So the Fed inflated its balance sheet during the coronavirus, well, other crises as well, but really during the coronavirus crisis, that really that was a large growth in their balance sheet. So they're trying to unwind that, and they're going to sell those assets. That reduces the money supply. It's more difficult to do in periods of high interest rates. Obviously, that makes borrowing more difficult. So the money that would buy these assets is constrained. So yeah, it's going to take time. They're doing 100 billion per month. The some of this can be done through allowing bonds to mature and then just not rolling them over. Others are going to be sales. So it's a mixture. This, I believe, is important and is going to be a kind of an unrecognized factor that should be more appreciated in terms of what the Fed's doing. We look at interest rate policy, but this is also an important, this open market committee operations is, this is how money comes into being. It's how it is destroyed. So it's something to consider. Now, the effect this has on liquidity, that's where you get into the interesting questions. So this is sucking up cash and out of the system. So it makes it to where if there is a liquidity crisis, businesses, financial institutions have less cash on hand to meet these obligations because of these assets have sucked that, these asset sales destroy money. So that calls into the question, well, what happens if there's a liquidity crisis? Does the Fed have to switch gears and maybe start pumping money back into the system? Like, how sustainable is this? And that's kind of why I think that he talks about it being an open-ended thing over the next few years. They don't want to rush this. They know it could be, it could be a destabilizing thing.
Something else that's interesting to note about this lack of liquidity, because it will have real effects in the available liquidity in the Main Street market, but we are starting to see the digital economy take shape through international banks and in different governments. So one of the benefits of blockchain and crypto over the last several years, especially when it comes to DeFi, and we have some DeFi projects to talk about, but people have had the ability and still do to take capital and to be able to access liquidity by locking up that capital, just as you would through these mainstream institutions that we're used to. So through code. So, it's interesting to see how big the blockchain markets in the future will play as a role to allow for some of that extra liquidity where it's needed for certain development, on tap or on demand. And you could see governments, you could see this being used as a new tool, just as buying up corporate debt was used as a tool.
Well, it's kind of like if the lender of last resort shifts from being the Fed itself to abracadabra or something similar, where you deposit some collateral and then borrow against it. That's definitely not abracadabra specifically, but just that model of of digital tokens, using them as collateral, getting liquid staking. You can do that you can take your stakes, you can access liquidity by using these as collateral. That is something that's now open to anybody that has a Web3 wallet, right? And before,
or even institutions. A lot of institutions. You look at Pantera Capital, BlackRock, and the move to support the growth of blockchain and these tools. You could see them, who have some of the largest crypto balance sheets, more than small individual retail, them being able to take collateral in the digital market and use that for whether it's USDC or DAI or MIM or whatever stable coin in the future is sanctioned or is understood to be backed and solid. But Okay, so there's some macro news, and obviously, if it's your first time listening to us, welcome. And if it's not, then you're not hearing anything new, but updates and kind of how where we're at in the cycle, which is good to know that things are kind of going according to plan. He says a couple of years on the balance sheet, which is something that we've been talking about for a long time since the Fed announced it, and it is something that is to look at, coupled with the rate hikes and the slowing down the rate hikes. So
Yep.
this could be one of those things that even when the rate hikes cease, we still
Continues.
find, we still find higher
Yep.
rates come about, and we still see liquidity constraints and problems in the market. So, but again, this is also exciting times when you look at the development, and we'll have plenty more content to share with blockchain specific, but there are some great partnerships and developments happening with blockchain cryptocurrency and offering financial tools, not just for retail, but
Right.
now we're seeing really for
Institutional.
institution. Hey, if you like that clip and you want to hear the rest of it and learn more about macroeconomics, cryptocurrency regulation, and the opportunities out there, hit the link right here for the full conversation that we had, or here, wherever we put it. I'm not sure. But you can also support us by hitting the like button and the subscribe button. So when we drop our next content, you get it right away and don't miss those opportunities. Also, there's more.
Yes, if you would like one-on-one assistance or even a group meeting, we can provide consulting and advice on crypto gateways and exit ramps, as well as securing your crypto, as well as swapping, storing, or staking, or NFTs, or any of the above. So feel free to fill out the form at our wisebeyondbitcoin.com website. We'll get back to you and schedule a meeting.
Absolutely. We've been in blockchain and crypto for several years, since the 2017 ICO days directly, and following it since the beginning, actually, and been in economics and finance for years before then. So we look forward to helping you in your education journey. Feel free to let us know if you're just looking to learn more about market diversification. Blockchain and crypto, there's layer ones, layer twos, NFTs, applications being built. So if there's something we can do to help you, we look forward to it. Until then, thank you, namaste, and have a beautiful day.